Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of That Gunner Talk. It's been a little while. You can see the both of us on your screens, but we're here to talk all things Arsenal. Obviously, we're back on the weekend against Fulham. It's your boy Cape as Pausa, and I'm with, you already know, Gunner Street. Big step out here,
You
fam.
already know.
So,
You already know.
before I even get into start this podcast, everyone, as you're tuning into this, go subscribe to Gunner Street. Go drop a like on this video. Go subscribe to Cape as Pausa. We're both on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and we're ready for Arsenal to take this running, and our channels to go simultaneously. So go do that for us, and obviously drop a like on this video, comment down below anything you agree or disagree with what we say in this. But yes, Steph, how are you feeling today? Been a little while since we've talked on cam, of course. How are you, man? Talk to
Bro, good, bro. A lot to talk about. It's been a while since I've really been consistently talking Arsenal. So hopefully, once international break is back, know that you're back, know that I'm back. Hopefully, the Arsenal also come back on good form too. So hopefully, we pick up where the boys have left off with good form. And yeah, man, just happy to be here. Good to talk more football with you, bro. As always, you already know.
Yeah, you already know, bro. But I'm still feeling the holiday blues, bro. Like.
Jeez,
Still wish I was in Lanzarote, man. That place was amazing.
looks
Like I feel like
beautiful,
it's
bro.
really relaxed me. It's really relaxed me. Obviously, it's defo, as I said in the stream of Waffled on, it's defo added an extra layer of melanin to the skin. Sun just kissing me and that,
Mhm.
so can't complain. But
It looks like you're bouncing
digressing.
no KP. It looks like you're bouncing no.
Funny enough, obviously we're recording this late. Obviously, this is after midnight UK time. Obviously, but
Exactly.
I think I'm just alive, and I think with Dre's when Arsenal's back, I'm a bit excited because obviously
Nah, yeah,
international break makes you appreciate and miss your team a lot more.
that's
Because
normally you though. I must say it. Anytime where Arsenal are gone for like a few weeks, you always message me and say, "Oh, bro, I need Arsenal, bro. I need some."
no,
Yeah, bro. You do
I'm
you.
addicted, man.
It's very true. This is a common theme with you know.
I'm
But yes,
addicted.
yeah,
Obviously, you know how it is, man. But yeah, we both love Arsenal. But
yes,
I
bro.
need to watch
Absolutely.
Arsenal, man, bro. But obviously, it's the international break, and a couple of our players have been performing. Obviously, we just see Spain get the win, another brace from Mikel Merino. Seems like every time he gets into the Spain team, his shooting boots are on. His finishing ability is amazing. Something that I'm going to talk about in the video that's going to come on my channel as well. Funny enough, but um, what's your reaction to Marino? Obviously, he started the season off obviously in and out the starting lineup obviously of the recent weeks. Obviously, as he's got the shirt, but he knows how to put the ball in the back of the net, man.
Oh,
Like
bro,
that's
same,
undeniable
bro.
at this point.
I'm
Like so
saying, bro.
so.
It's something that we've also talked about for a while now. The secret weapon to me, I've labeled him the secret weapon to this Arsenal squad from preseason because when you have a guy like that from midfield who has the finishing ability like that from a midfielder is top notch. I'm talking about one-time finishes in and around the ball, instinctive finishes, curlers, like his finishing is incredible. Headers, anything you want, bins in it.
No.
So first of all, I say credit to Mikel Moreno for having this uptick in form because when we signed him from Sociedad, when I did profiles on him, he was never
Yeah,
really like touted as a goal scorer
he didn't have any of
when
this
we did his
season.
research on him. So to develop that aspect of your game, working on the Mikel Arteta, clearly something was seen and clearly he's put in the work and put in the effort behind the scenes to get that in him. But yeah, man, I think this he people talk about Mikel Moreno not being quality or they have their rights to say certain stuff. And I think one game people might label him bad was a City game. And I watched it in person. He was not good against City. But there's a lot of times where Mikel Moreno's performances can go underrated. And I hope we see a lot more of kind of these kind of performances that he has for Spain in the Arsenal shirt, especially from midfield, to kind of really make generalized fans really see what I think others have been saying for a little bit of a while now. But credit to Mikel Moreno for the 2 goals, man. Absolutely nice to see him get 2 goals.
No, exactly. And obviously, sometimes I read online and I see some Arsenal fans saying like, "Oh, like he is the most confusing player ever because obviously he score goals. Obviously, a lot of people have some simple analysis, so they
Yeah,
don't understand. But I think it's credit when you have a player that has, as you said, that tool of goal scoring, and it's from a different position that's not an attacking position. Of course, he's played in that nine position or covered in there. But I think yeah, his performances in the midfield get underrated when he does play well. Obviously, when he when the team doesn't play well or we look a bit stale, obviously, and he's playing, people always want to highlight him specifically
yeah,
and stuff. But I think him having that tool is good. I think with Arsenal becoming more of a you know faster faster team in terms of how we move the ball and riskier, I think
yeah.
it will suit players like Marino and Zubimendi who are used to playing in more open teams, you know, more of that tiki-taka, fast-paced, moving type of football. Like, I think it will allow Mourinho to kind of get into spaces with more time and space, and he has a finish on him. And speaking of players that can finish, obviously, England did win today, obviously 4-0, but the game before, Saka scored that incredible finish. I don't know if you saw the goal.
Yep,
Incredible finish for
absolutely
England.
brilliant goal.
One of his trademark finishes, I should say. That's not his only trademark, but I think just a word on Saka. Obviously, the guy's amazing, man. Obviously, I'm not saying that we take it for granted, but sometimes I feel like he's so good that you get so used to it that you don't want that praise him the way he deserves compared to like maybe other players from other teams that you praise when you see them doing great stuff. So like, just what's your thoughts on on him? Obviously, now that he's looking like he's getting back into goal scoring form, and obviously coming into Fulham, how you like? Yeah, what's the thoughts on Bukayo, man?
Bro, going into the break, to 100th goal contribution in 200 games. I think definitely in the top 10 of youngest players in Premier League history to do it. In the top 7 of Arsenal players of all time to do it. Only 7 Arsenal players have done it before him, I think. And I think he also was like the 3rd or 4th youngest amongst those two do it. So to be able to have 100 goal comps in the Premier League alone at 24 years old, when you started off as a left back, again, more credit to Mikel being able to develop players into positions and adding that level of consistency to their game. Saka has grown from being a top prospect for Arsenal just in general, and then coming through as a left back. Yeah, we saw he was talented. We know he had a cross in him. He was always one of the highest assisters in the team since he broke through. But no, to add the goal scoring, and we're seeing it on a consistent basis. And you talked about the trademark finish. That, remember the United game? He scored that goal so many times. We've seen it fly off his foot. He scored it for England at the Euros a couple of summers ago now. So listen, we all know Saka is a quality player. I think last season before his injury would have been 40 goal contributions for the season. I thought he was on pace to even break the Premier League assist record, but how he was assisting from the set pieces as well as just overall play was brilliant. But I think we talked about it last season going into this season. We're starting to see a Saka that starting to take the mantle of, this is my team. When he takes the penalty off of Gyökeres, it's not a slight to Gyökeres, but this, I'm going for a milestone. I have the armband. This is my team. And I do like to see that a little bit, honestly. People were talking about, do you want to see him take the ball off of your main guy?
Yeah,
if my main guy is bagging goals, yeah. If the team is winning, I don't mind. But if Saka is the main man of this team, like, I don't want people to get confused. Like, Saka is the main man. Until Gyökeres puts the ball to the back of the net, shows what he could do in an Arsenal shirt, he will then be thinking. And I'm not saying Gyökeres is bad. I don't want to start this Gyökeres versus Saka thing. But again, Saka has grown into the man, the Arsenal man, the man at the club. So it's good to see
franchise
him really,
player, man.
Yeah, good to really see him taking that on, because you know some players, they don't want to shoulder that burden. They're more kind of like, yeah, man, I know I'm the guy, but I still like to divert. Nah, like, this is my thing. He talks to Thierry. Thierry even said Thierry messages him about certain records. Nah, man, I'm on that. You want that? I want this record. I want this. I want to win this. He wants to win PFA Player of the Year. You don't think Saka wants to win that? Come on, man. Come on, man. So
which is why I
credit him.
Which is why you have to. That's why you have to love the player, man. I like how last season you saw him like scoring the goal, the attitude in the celebrations. You can tell that it was a bit more of that, like, no, like, stop thinking I'm this nice guy type guy on the pitch. I'm a killer, and he's taking it into the season. Obviously, I'm happy that he's getting back into fitness. Obviously, he said himself, I think, after that England goal, that he said he's not even back to he doesn't feel like he's fully fit yet or back to his optimum best, which means obviously hopefully he can continue to get there, which obviously he has only kind of been back from his injury a couple of weeks anyways. But
true.
Like, I'm happy that he's got this goal scoring taste now. Hopefully he can continue it. Obviously Eze got a goal as well for England today in the game as well. I watched his goal, good goal as well, cutting from the left, kind of.
Saka got an assist as well today. Saka, I don't know which goal he assisted, but
I think it was for Kane's goal, if I'm correct. So Kane's first goal. So, you know, the players are performing. So I'm happy. The main thing, no one was injured. I think honorable mentions, obviously Ethan Nwaneri in the under-21s, both games. I think he's been a very, very good shining star. Calafiori as well in the first game for Italy was excellent. I watched that.
Trossard scored in a 4-2 win.
Yeah, Trossard scored a 4-2 win. And I think Timber has been playing centre back for Netherlands, which has been nice. But I think they've been playing more of a back three where he's been drifting out. So it's kind of the same thing. But like, happy that Arsenal have had another positive international break. And as we transition into this, the Arsenal games now, obviously, funny enough, there is another international break 4 weeks' time. So I think it's the last one. There's normally the first 3 months is international breaks, and then there's that break until March. So we have a run of games. Obviously, I will name them now that are I would say favorable. Like
Yeah, that's fair to say.
our first six fixtures, and obviously minus the Carabao Cup and let's say the Champions League fixtures were a bit they're tough. Man
Yeah,
United away, Man City at home, Liverpool away, Newcastle away. Like it's not easy. It's not easy stead. Obviously, you got West Ham at home, which was a team that obviously for the last 2 seasons have beaten us. So I'm not saying it wasn't their hard team, but it was a hard fixture for us. So we've overcome that. We're top of the league, of course, obviously only by 1 point, but our goal difference is I think a seven over Liverpool's. We've conceded the least amount of goals in the Prem. We've scored, I think, the second highest goals after City. I think after City. So it's looking good, isn't it? And we've got Fulham on Saturday, obviously away ground again in the last 2 seasons that we've dropped points. So draw last season, that last minute Saka goal, I think, from that Martinelli cross that got ruled out because of the offside. I don't even remember
no,
because
got
it was
it,
just
bro.
offside. That was
Got it,
pain
bro.
because I celebrated
Got
that
it.
one heavy. And then obviously the year before where we had that poor performance, and we were wearing that green teal kit. I remember where, yeah, like, it was just poor. It was on. I think it was the day after. Was it Christmas or around that Christmassy period? I think
Yeah, it
the game
was,
was.
bro. It was, bro.
So yeah, we got Fulham away, and then obviously after Fulham away, we got Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. That's at home, which will be an interesting game. Um, get to see Julian Alvarez. I can't lie. First time he's been on one this season. Just to
Yes,
digress,
yes,
obviously.
yes.
And then obviously we move on to Palace at home, Brighton at home in the Carabao Cup, and then Burnley away, Slavia Prague away, and Sunderland away. So 3 away games to end this run before the next international break. Um, Steph, the question I pose to you is, I think and I expect, especially in the Premier League, that Arsenal can get maximum points out of all of these games and obviously progress through the Carabao Cup by beating Brighton. There are some games you can circle, Palace, Brighton, Fulham, teams that can cause you problems. They've got quality players. They do play that kind of mid-blocky type formation that we've spoken about many a time. I think we can go 7 for 7 because it's 7 games. Definitely 4 for 4 and build some momentum. Obviously, I think we're on a 2-game winning streak. We're basically unbeaten since the Liverpool loss, so it's not
I
like our
think
form
that's
is bad.
6 undefeated in all comps. I think I saw.
There you go. I think only like 2 goals conceded in the
Yeah,
Newcastle
yeah.
and City game, but 2 Premier League games on the bounce. I think we've got 4 Premier League games: Fulham, Palace, Burnley, Sunderland, and then obviously we've got
Yeah.
Slavia Prague and Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, Brighton in the Carabao Cup. What's your thoughts,
Yeah.
bro? Like, what's your expectations? Let me say that.
Well,
What do you believe Arsenal can do, and what's your expectations from these games?
Well, I'll start off saying this. If you ask me, coming out of that run of games that we had at the start of this season, and you were telling me with Odegaard missing games, with Saka missing games, with Saliba missing games, with however many, and Capio's only played literally 1 minute for this Arsenal squad. Guys have been in and out. Madueke started hot, but also got injured. And you tell me we're top of the league going in, I mean, by 1 point, but still top of the league. I snatch your hand off. And not only that, I'd say we're playing the better football than anyone else in the league right now, top to bottom. And I said this when we lost to Liverpool. It didn't sound like a sexy take to have, but I still say we were the scariest team to watch because people were saying Liverpool haven't clicked, but neither have we. And we had a rougher start than them, arguably. So, okay, I say all that to say,
and more signings too.
and more signings as well, yeah. So I say all that to say this. I expect us to go on a run. Now there's some difficult games here. You already mentioned Fulham. Palace, we normally have been doing well against them, but I remember last season, at the back end of last season, once we started to like focus more on the Champions League, Eze scored a brilliant goal. Mateta chipped right up from far. They scored 2
Yeah,
wonderful
I was at that game live.
It
I
was
remember
at
watching that.
two wonderful goals they scored against us. So I mean, there are games in there. Burnley newly promoted. We should be scalping them. Sunderland have had a good start to life in the Premier League, but we should be doing our business against them. But I say all that to say we should be winning, man. And I think we need to capitalize on Liverpool not being at their best, because this is what should be the area where, okay, we have the depth now. We've talked about it. We have the quality. Just go out there, and it's so easier said than done. But we have to get the results on the board. It's easy to say Liverpool haven't been performing and Liverpool haven't this and that, but if you don't go out there and put the points on the board and do what you have to do when it's your time, And one thing we could give credit to, last season Arsenal weren't really capitalizing on those moments with Liverpool, and I thought that we really could have made it sweaty for them, and they might have crumbled. But last season, when we had a chance to follow it up with a good performance, we didn't. We already see with the Newcastle game, they dropped points. We show that we have the balls to go away from home at Newcastle and win games. So that shouldn't really deter my mind from saying we can't beat Fulham, we can't beat Palace. We can't. I think we could win all these games. I think we're favorites in all these games. So I'm expecting maybe not be flawless, especially the fact that we're playing 3 straight away games in Burnley, and then Slavia Prague, and then Sunderland. But if you ask me if we can win all, yes. Would I be surprised if we do? No. Would I be surprised if we lost? Yes, honestly. But maybe one slip up I'll give, because that's how football works. Rotation, bad moment, bad game. But I hope it's not in the Premier League, honestly. If that's probably the league I'd not wanted to be the most, honestly.
I'm not giving us any excuse to slip up. I'm
That's
not
fair.
gonna
That's
I'm not
fair.
gonna
That's very
necessarily say I'm gonna be blasting online saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get a manager out. This player's that dead." But I think where they've done well to, as you said, narrowly just lose to Liverpool, should have beat City, but obviously it's a tough team. That's going to be teams that we're going up against the title with. The way Liverpool look, as you said, obviously they've had 2 weeks now, international break, to for Slot to kind of reshuffle things to try and sort out the defensive shape and try and get them playing. But obviously with the Konate injury now that he had to lead the international break, they're down to 2 centre backs. Joe Gomez is already an injury prone player. Their fullbacks aren't the best, and I think a lot of people now who kind of obviously saw the Isak signing, obviously, and I'm digressing a bit to Liverpool, but saw the Isak signing and put Liverpool as their favourites or clear favourites. Not saying it because they didn't believe Arsenal could do it, but just more they were blinded by the statistical kind of nature. Like, oh, they won it last year, they're the champions. They added this out. Oh, you know what? They're the best. Like, I mean, like, kind of not simple analysis, and they didn't really deep that Liverpool's biggest problem was the defense. That they kept the majority of their players fit last year. They still had a lack of defensive depth, and they've employed players that aren't necessarily the strongest defensively. Obviously, they're unlucky with that player that got injured. Is it? I can't remember his name. The Italian guy. But digressing from them now, I think Arsenal have looked like the strongest team. I think a lot of people that have probably redone their predictions have probably put Arsenal to win the league, not because they're trying to hate, but just because they looked at it, the depth, the way that we always have the consistent defensive shape is not just the players that we have, but the way the whole team defends. But then, on top of that, the players that we have, the goalkeeper that we have, the coach that we have. And I think that always gives me confidence. And I think we've seen this team go on runs of games. Start of 22-23 season, that first 15, 16 games. Then the end of the 23-24 season, that last 18 games where we went 16-1-1. Like, this team can go to away grounds and shut up that crowd, smoke them out and end the game in the first half. I've seen it. And we started off the season with multiple clean sheets in all competitions, bar the 3 games of the Premier League. We've got clean sheets, so clearly the defensive good. We're scoring goals early a lot in the games now compared to prior. And I think we're still waiting for that killer game, outside the league games where we kind of put a team to bed early and kind of dominate them. And I think it will come, but as you said, like, I think we have the squad for it. I think players are coming back in form. Obviously, we've got some momentum. Obviously, off the back of the before the international break and the fact that we're first. And I think, as you said, obviously Liverpool don't have the most desirable run. I don't say they have the hardest one, but they have some tough fixtures coming up in this next 4 Premier League games, and I think we can capitalize in trying to maximize our points in fixtures that you'll say are more favorable. That's just what I feel like we can do. And then obviously you build up momentum that way because you put pressure on your rivals by default, but you also build up that good belief and structure. Because if it is our year, we need to have a moment where we look like we're the best team and we're dominating and we've made the first move to to say like, oh, well, we're trying to take this league. Yeah, what are you man on, essentially? Like, you know what I mean? So
stamp that, yeah.
So that's just what I think, man. And obviously, it's going to be interesting because we're going to be without Odegaard for this whole international break. This next period before the next international break, because obviously of his MCL injury, which is sad. Obviously, hopefully he's able to recover quickly. Obviously, I'm happy that it's only a short period. Obviously, so